Urban Media Today talks sports with Ray Porter Jr., Vince Butts, and Trevin A Jones on Urban Media Today Radio.
It's game time!
It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports second quarter. We're talking hoops. We got the ladies involved. We got some basketball royalty in the house. Champions. That's what I'm talking about. Both of them, Erica Taylor and Margo Hinton. Ladies, gentlemen, we were talking COVID-19 and NBA, even NFL. And we're talking about whether or not not if the season gets started. I don't think the season is going to get started. I think it's all talk right now. I really do. I'm afraid for and Coach, you can relate because you're probably talking to these guys more so than we are. The college athletes that are preparing for this upcoming season, football-wise, and then also the players that are trying to make a pro team before the season starts this year. Have you talked to any of them? How are they looking at this? What feedback are you getting?
Well, let's just talk about the college kids.
Okay.
The mental health of all of these high school seniors that are going to college is ridiculous right now because they're kind of limbo. You know, you're excited about graduating high school, you sign your scholarship, you're going to college, but now you're in this unknown kind of abyss. What's going to happen? I mean, am I going to be able to show up? Is there going to be summer ball? Do I stay home? I want to make the team as a freshman, but am I going to be able to even make the roster because I don't know what it looks like at that level, whether it's Division I, Division II, NAIA. And so a lot of the mental health aspect is that, you know, I'm really focused on talking to those seniors, keeping them motivated. How you doing? Tell the parents to check on them because there is a lot of unknowns right now. It's already stressful enough going from high school. You guys on this podcast that have gone from high school to college, you know, there's an unknown. You know, there's like a what if factor. And now, you know, I got to work out, but am I working out enough? Am I going to be able to learn the playbook? Coach don't have access to me. When am I going to be able to get in the locker room? Am I going to be able to come in early summer? Am I going to come in late summer? I was on with Dartmouth earlier, and they're not bringing their guys in until August the 29th. They don't have their first game until September 27th in the Ivy League. I mean, they're talking about scaling the leagues, you know, the season down for football to like 7 games. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of unknowns here. There's a lot of things mental health wise. We've got to make sure we just are talking about that for these young athletes because you spent, you know, majority of your life prepping and preparing to go to college, be it track, football, baseball, whatever it may be, and then transition to college, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna have a virtual online class to learn the playbook. It's happening. As far as the pro guys, like I just talked about earlier with the pro contracts, I mean, football guys, they got to work. I mean, I have a lot of football guys. They just got to work because if they don't work, I mean, they just released Kaiser from the Raiders. I mean, they cutting dudes.
Right.
You know, they scaled back the free agent contracts because they were supposed to have the free agent a lot of the rookie camps this weekend, mini camps this weekend. So a lot of guys last year that got picked up on free agency, there's still a boatload of guys that haven't signed free agent contracts because there's nowhere for them to go. There's nowhere for them to go work out. So NFL has kind of put a halt on bringing those guys in. So, you know, now we got another mental health issue. We got guys that are just finished up playing ball, maybe committed early into the draft, and now they're just stuck.
Wow.
Yeah, because they canceled the draft and the NBA combine. So how did that affect you on any levels, Coach?
Well, you know, I had Robert here last week, man. He's huge, man. So it's all coming down to relationships. It's all coming down to, you know, picking up the phone, talking to those agents, getting my guys, you know, I'm really just trying to get them some brand money. Instagram, you know, put on a suit, you know, go to a dealership, you know, get in front of a car. We're trying to get them some revenue with their brand while they're hot, stay relevant because they don't have anything else. You know, I mean, right now unemployment rate is even low. I don't get a job. So it's tough for athletics from a mental health standpoint, from a recruiting, and like from a draft perspective.
They ain't get the combine, the NCAA tournament, or the draft, man. That's just sad, man. This is sad.
Yeah.
Well, what's sad is the fact that people are dying. That's sad.
Too. I'm just talking about on the sports level. That's sad too, though. That's way bigger than sports. Forget all that. But I'm just talking about on the sports level.
Yeah, no doubt. I feel you on that one. I just think sometimes as a society, and I like the fact that we're such a sports-oriented society, but I think sometimes we put so much on sports, you forget about life. Taylor, if you were going to college at this time or on your way to college, mentally, what type of impact do you think that would have on you?
Can't even imagine being a high school senior right now, just not even being able to, well, I guess high school players finished out their seasons. I'm just so far removed because my children are old enough. It didn't impact them. My daughter graduated from college. I really can't because, and I wasn't that well-rounded. I really just love basketball. So it would hurt. And I know that it didn't really matter what the NCAA would have said. My mom would have said no. So there's that factor. It doesn't really matter. These kids can want to go, and even if you're grown or whatever, there's still that part of people are dying. And no, I wouldn't have been headed down to Virginia until it was clear. I already know that.
Right.
And it would have hurt. So yeah.
And I have a kid, one of my all-time favorite students at North Allegheny, the running back, all-star, all everything. He's supposed to be going down to Florida to play. I have no idea what's going to happen. When's he going to go? Can he go? Will his parents let him go, like you're saying? So it's serious. It's serious.
So do you think that the schools play a major role here, but they're going to lose money? They're losing a lot of money. I've heard that over the news. And I'm not so much worried about the schools and the institutions losing money. What I'm worried about is the athletes. Like you just said, he's supposed to be going to Florida.
Right.
Now he has no idea what's going on. So isn't this where the school reaches out to him to give him some reassurance?
Yeah, I think he has had, conversations with the coach and whatnot, but I'm still, like Erica said, like, when are you going to go and are you going to go? Scary.
Go ahead, Coach.
Just to update you guys on the NCAA, they did rule that that once the high school senior is officially finished with high school, that the colleges can come in and start giving them money and paying for their summer, so they can, just like if they're on campus. So if you're a high school senior and you're a basketball player and you're coming in for summer, they can now give you the playbook, shoot you a package full of gear. Okay. They can give you money, like gift cards to go shop at your food place. So they're NCAA, they let the genie out the bottle when I say that, because that's going to be hard to get back in. Okay, because once you start giving out that stuff, it's over. But anyway, moving on from that. But the NCAA did a good job by allowing that, just so we can bring that anxiety level down, because some of these athletes come from economically devastated backgrounds. Everybody doesn't come from a silver spoon, some of them scrappers, and they're having to try to make do. This is what the meal ticket was, and so they've done a good job by that. Allow the cinema computer or iPad, which is dope. So they get an opportunity to kind of log into kind of a virtual classroom to get going. I know that in order to have sports, you have to have students back on the campus. So that's the conversation that we've been having all this week was, what percentage of the student body will you allow back on campus? Because everybody's, it's going to be restricted. It's going to be kind of a part A, part B, like they're doing in Atlanta. You know what I mean? We're going to have the first phase. But what does that mean? You know what I mean? That's going to be the first phase of people to get, but that's what they're dealing with now.
So how do you do, it sounds like a test. So how do you do a test with children at risk? What I mean by that is college students.
My kids.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I would not have been going.
Margo and Erica both said, no. And that's what I'm saying. How are you going to? So, Coach, and I hear what you're saying, but as an institution of education, you're going to say to me or to say to parents, not you in respect, Coach, but the powers that be are going to say, okay, we're going to let 25% of the kids go back to school for the first 3 months or so, and then we'll let another 25% come. Well, that means the first 25% are test babies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much talk right now on, what needs to be done. Are they going to give students their own dorm room now? Because when you go to school, you have a room, you have a roommate, right?
Sometimes 3 or 4.
Yeah. So now they're breaking it down like, okay, do we give our students one room? Do we up the price? Do we drop the price down? What do we do? Because
counting on 17, 18-year-olds to socially distance in college.
That's not happening.
No.
I'm gonna tell you now. That's not happening.
Look outside. No, that ain't gonna happen.
That ain't happening. Nah, we all adults in here, so we already know. That's not happening.
The first week of the pandemic, there was 200 kids on a basketball court that I'd never seen used.
Wow.
Right?
Are you serious?
Right. Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can't count on that.
And I say that, and I don't want to say I don't want to be a pessimist, but how people will tell you, don't believe what the powers that be are saying. Be your individual, use your mind, use your common sense. Everything that everybody's saying right now is not making a bit of sense to me.
Not at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not alone. So okay. So that makes me feel good.
Folks are leaning to their own understanding and their emotions. Period.
Hey, you gonna have me going to my Malcolm X mode, man. I'm trying to keep the sports here, man. There's some stuff that I really want to say, and I just don't want to take it there because I don't want to be political. You understand? You feel me, man?
It's real talk on here. You know how we do. It's a conversation. But I feel you, Keith. I'm already there with you.
I got a lot of stuff built in me, man, that I just want to say about the nation, and I gotta keep it cool. I'll be trying not to say certain stuff from Facebook. I try to keep it sports and music, but it's starting to get out of hand, man. It's just starting to get out of hand, man, and I'm just starting to get sick of it, for real. But I'm gonna keep my cool though.
I thank you, because you do have your own show. It's called Platt's Point of View, so I know you can go in there and blow up if you want to.
Guess what? There ain't no Platt's Point of View as long as COVID-19 is around.
Oh, that's right. Okay, because you can't get into the studio there.
Exactly.
To do that. Okay.
Exactly.
So I know you.
Man, just get on Zoom, man.
Let me shift gears for a second. I'm gonna go around the room real quick. Coach, we'll start with you. When you talk about NBA, who is, I'm not going to say the greatest player of all time. Margo already knows about that. Because I'm so tired of hearing that.
Oh, and take the pot and stir it.
The player that you're most impressed with in all of the, I'll just say the player that you're most impressed with. Can be historic, can be current. Talking NBA.
I mean, as a black entrepreneur, I'm super impressed with Earvin Magic Johnson. You know what I mean? I mean, I just think that
I like that.
From a guard perspective, coming from where he came from, coming from the bottom, working his way up, being ridiculed, laughed at in the locker room about going into business, playing a guard at that size, at that time when they had some goons in the league when he was playing, and I'm not trying to say he's not no goons in the league now, but we can kind of look through the league. We can look through the his career when he was playing. They were far, far more competitive teams. Just me, way more competitive teams when he was playing, and he was dishing a rock. And then he was smiling, and then he had to overcome as an athlete, indiscretion, and then overcome a COVID-19 situation with AIDS, HIV. Excuse me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the resilience of Earvin Magic Johnson is that's my guy.
That's good.
I like that.
So I'm gonna do is, because he started off with a good one, we're gonna take a break. This is halftime. It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports, and we're gonna come back talking about not who's the greatest of all time, but what player impressed you most. And we're talking NBA because the NBA is supposed to open up some facilities this weekend. It's Urban Media Today Talk Sports. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.